You're watching Virginia This Morning.
Welcome back to our show. People often look for authentic connections, and texts and social media can take center stage. But our next guest discusses the emotional impact of non-digital touch points in the digital age. Joining us live by satellite from Kansas City, Kansas this morning, psychiatrist Dr. Vania Manapad. We welcome her to Virginia this morning. It is nice to meet you.
Thank you, Jessica. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure, and this is a great conversation to have because it seems right now as though we are more connected than ever, especially expanding our network, right? I've met people that I've never had the chance to talk to before, but yet studies reveal that we often feel more lonely than ever.
Right. Well, I mean, social media networks could be great at connecting with people at a distance and also connecting us with news stories that we otherwise wouldn't encounter. However, I want to emphasize that these types of experiences are more fleeting and passive. When it comes to more true, meaningful connections, it truly is quality over quantity.
You see this often with, I use social media as the reference, where you'll post the picture, but that's the perfect picture that you took out of 20 of them, right? Like there was often something that wasn't quite so perfect, and yet we're presenting this image that is not so, maybe.
Right. Well, and that's what social media does. But social media in excess has been linked to increased stress, anxiety, and loneliness. And what we truly crave as humans, and what Hallmark, who I partnered with, have found in their recent studies, is that we truly desire more meaningful, impactful connections.
So these non-digital touch points, right, maybe sitting down and writing a letter or a kind gesture, are not only beneficial then for the recipient, but we receive the benefit too.
Yeah, well, for example, when we send a text message, it's really quick. We're not putting and investing as much time. However, when we send a greeting card, it shows that we're going above and beyond and taking time out of our busy daily lives. We're finding a card that's conveying how we feel. We're sitting down and writing it. It really can truly cause us to have some time to pause, reflect, and have a greater sense of well-being.
Are you seeing any kind of trends between the age groups, let's say the boomers, the Gen Xers, maybe the millennials, in terms of who's taking the time to do this? Or is this something that hopefully the pendulum is swinging back again and it's maybe cool again to write a note?
Well, that's a great question, because what was interesting in the findings was that for consumers of all age groups, when given the opportunity to receive either a text message or a greeting card that conveyed the same message, everybody much preferred a greeting card over the text. And I like that you mentioned, millennials, because even though they grew up in the digital age, it was found that compared to all ages, they were the ones who found the greeting cards and receiving one to be especially more meaningful.
I mean, remember how exciting it was to get a card in the mail?
Oh yeah, whenever that happens, it's rare.
That's
so
right.
Of course, I'm excited.
I look forward to holiday season all year long just to get the Christmas cards, because there's something very classic about it. And not only do you feel emotionally fulfilled, this can help your overall physical wellness too.
Oh yeah, well, strong human connection and personal relationships are strongly tied to overall increased health and well-being.
I know a lot of folks have probably talked with you. We've mentioned taking the time to write a card or send a note. Do you have some other ideas for non-digital touch points that really are impactful gestures?
Right. Well, making a phone call, inviting somebody out to lunch, or just meeting up in person. And I also recommend just for everybody to have a social media detox, because that allows people to actually have the time to engage in these more stronger personal human connections.
And a great suggestion too, if you were to try that, the social media detox, it doesn't have to be all or nothing and permanent, right? Just start small and see what kind of an impact it makes.
Right, just small, just limiting your time and the hours on it, and just lessening each time and seeing what happens, and seeing how it just allows you to have the time to engage in more meaningful relationships that already exist.
Well, I will take the time today to write a note, and thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Manapad. We appreciate talking to you.
Thank you, Jessica.
For more information, you can visit our website. Early this afternoon, we'll have a link posted to more info, WTVR.com/VTM. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.